Hello, YouTube pipers. Double O pipe here, aka Rick. About said double OK. All right, same pipe. The Rossi Sera, S-E-R-A, and same tobacco I had last time, Captain Black Royal. I've got a can of Carter Hall back there that is still closed up. I might open up that next time. It's good stuff. Captain Black makes some good tobaccos. The only one that I never got was that Captain Black with grape flavor. I regret that, but nothing you can do about it now because they don't no longer make it. Friday afternoon. I should be out there mowing the lawn, but I've been inside all day pretty much trying to draw this picture. I drew one of you guys, but when I was putting the color into it, I messed it up. So you don't get to see it. But I'll show you a few of the things that I've been doing here. If I can get them all. Let's see if I can find them all. I got papers everywhere. I don't know if you'll be able to see the general look on these because there's just something that's not gelling with me. Just can't quite get it. Of course, I know y'all don't know who this is, so y'all don't know what it is I'm trying to draw. But there is a general likeness that stands out, but it's just not the real likeness, you know? It's just something I can't quite capture. But just to let you know, I have been working on it, trying to get it done. So I quit trying to do that particular individual. And like I said, I had a fairly good likeness of one of you guys. If it had worked out, I would have put it at the end of this post, but it didn't work out. And it's all because I've been using those alcohol markers and the colors just wouldn't work for me. And one part of the face just kept getting darker and darker while the rest of it was still light. So it's just completely wrong. I remember back when Clyde wanted a motorcycle. But my grandmama, his mama, forbade him getting a motorcycle when he was living at home. But she did let him get a scooter, which just the name, scooter, bothered him. But still, he got it, and it was gas powered, so he got around on it. He used to deliver papers. And I think when he got that scooter, that was about the time that he stopped delivering papers. But anyway, he got this leather jacket, and he saw me trying to draw all the time, and he came over and said, look here, Neff. I said, what you want? He said, you see this, your jacket? See this leather? And he turned it around so I could see the back. And he said, you see all that? You could use that as a canvas, and you could paint me an eagle on the back. And I said, Clyde, I can't paint you an eagle. I don't know how to do that. I said, I've never painted anything, and I don't think I could even draw an eagle. He says, I've seen you sitting around. You draw all the time, he said, and I bet you could do it. I trust you with my jacket. And I just said, no, I'm not going to do that, Clyde. I don't want to mess up your jacket. I think I was too young to try to do something like that. He never got anybody else to do it. I don't remember him wearing that jacket a whole lot. Anyway, so. I was flattered that he asked me that, but I didn't want to mess up his jacket because I had absolutely no experience with paint, much less drawing, and I couldn't figure out how you'd draw something on the back of that leather jacket and then paint it. Just couldn't figure it out. Too young, way too young. They didn't have acrylic paint back then, I don't think. So it would have to have been in oils, I'm sure. And then it would take a long time for those oils to dry. So I don't know. It's best I didn't do it. I had a friend, my mother's friend from her childhood, gave me a book on drawing, and he said, if you can draw this picture, it was, it was a picture that was drawn by an established artist who had been drawing and painting all his life. And he said to me, if you'll draw me this picture on a piece of paper, he said, I'll give you $10. I was thinking to myself, $10? Ooh, that's a lot of money. In my childhood brain, I went, wow, that's 100 funny books at a dime a piece. So I sat down and tried to do that, and it was way beyond my comprehension as to how that man had used a pencil to make this girl, because it was a picture of a girl, a very pretty girl, make her look almost lifelike. And here I was, still drawing practically stick figures. Oh, jeepers. So I was too young to do all that stuff. Now, Clyde had a talent. He could sing. He had a good voice. And he could whistle. There were 3 people in our family that could whistle in this way. I don't know if you've ever heard it. It's like a bird's whistle. It's got twirls and flips in it. you know, that kind of thing. And he could do that, and his brother could do that. I think his brother taught him. And then I asked him if he would teach me, and he taught me how. And for years, that would be how I would amuse myself with music, because I could whistle anything I heard back in the day when you know, music carried a tune and there was a melody to it. I could whistle it, and it was, as one person told me at work one time, he said, you've got perfect pitch. Did you know that? I said, no, I just whistle. I don't know. And then he taught me that, and he also taught my cousin, a girl, how to do the same thing. And I used to whistle at work all the time, and if I tried to sing, somebody would say, "Rick, whistle," because I can't sing at all. So I would whistle. And there used to be a contest. It was in North Carolina. I can't remember where the little town was. But every year, they would have a whistling contest. And these people were just fantastic. I mean, they could really put out a tune. Fast, slow, anything. It was just perfect. So I thought, well, maybe I can go to that and try to do that. And so I got in touch with the people who carried on the contest, and they told me that that year it wasn't going to be there in that small town. It was going to be in Japan. I said, well, I can't go to Japan. There's no way I can do that. And the strange thing is, waiting until the following year when it would be back in this town in North Carolina again, my ability to whistle began to deteriorate. And I think it's something to do with age or something, because I can't form my lips, and they aren't as flexible as they used to be when I would put out the tune. So that half the time there's no actual sound coming out, it's just the rush of wind through my lips. And I've tried drinking water, tried, you know, something you can put on your lips, that lip balm. And then back in the back catches when my tongue moves, because in order to make that twirl in the whistle, you have to move your tongue back and forth. And something about moving my tongue back and forth catches in my throat so that I feel like I'm going to gag. So I have lost, and it tears me up sometimes, because I loved to carry a tune when I was whistling, and now I can't even do that. So getting old sucks. And because I've not been drawing on a daily basis, and my ability to capture whatever it was, I could draw a caricature at work. I mean, I could do it like that, just putting down the lines. And they always knew who it was. But I can't get those lines to work where my mind is. What's up here, going to those hands where the pencil is, there's a break in communication. Something ain't right. So I'm going to have to get back to drawing on a daily basis. That's the only thing that's going to do it. I started drawing in the third grade when I was sick. It was summertime, and I was sick for almost a month. So I went from stick figures to, excuse me, to almost like potato figures. Everything was kind of like a balloon when I drew it. And finally I didn't understand what I was doing, but I began to capture likenesses and such. And I could draw cartoon characters, and I could do lettering, which for a while is all I did, was just drawing lettering. And it wasn't using a flat brush and making the lettering such that there was thin points and fat points. I would have to draw the thin points and the fat points and fill in. But I did it, and it worked out. And then I was trying to think when I picked up painting. I think I was in college when I picked up painting. In my freshman year, I was dating when I think of her, my heart just drops, because we broke up and it was my fault. Freshman year, I think she was sophomore. No, she was a junior. At any rate, we were dating, and I painted a picture of a rose. It was the first oil painting I ever did, still hanging up on the wall over there. I painted it for my mother for Mother's Day. And I asked her if she knew where we could get it framed, and she looked it up for me, and we went over there and we got it framed, and I gave it to my mother for Mother's Day, and she loved it. And when we broke up, man, I was devastated. And I painted a picture and took it over to the house, and her mother answered the door and said, "What do you want?" Her mother never liked me. Never. From the moment I walked in the house the first time. She was upset with her daughter dating me. Which kind of floored me, because all through high school, the girls' mothers loved me. And here's one of the first time in my life I was dating this woman's daughter, and she just could not stand me. She did not want her daughter dating me. But her daughter continued to date me until the breakup. I don't know. Sorriest day of my life when I did that. And I didn't realize it until it was way too late. Dumb. We are dumb when we're young. She married somebody else, and from what I understand, she's been happy all her life. Which I'm glad. I don't wish anybody hard times or anything. It was my fault, not hers, that we broke up. So I'm sure her mother threw that painting out out in the trash when she moved out. This last girl that I was engaged to, it's about, gosh, it was in the well, it was the time of the 9/11 we started dating. And I painted her portrait, and then we broke up. So I don't know what happened to that either. There are so many paintings out there that I lost track of, and I'm sure they're gone. I had a woman call me 10 years ago, and she said, I'm cleaning out my house and I found your number in the phone book, and I think it's you that painted this picture that I bought. She had bought it from an art gallery. And it was a watercolor. And she said, I thought you might like to have it because I'm cleaning my house out and I didn't want to throw this into the trash. And since you had signed it, and I found your number, I thought I would ask you if you would like to have it back. I said, I would. So anyway, she gave me her address. I went over there and picked it up. And it was one of the watercolors that I had done. I sold, I think, 10 or 15 watercolors to a guy who wanted to back me as a painter. And I just looked at him and said, I don't want to be beholden to anybody. I don't want you backing me. I don't know whether that was a dumb decision or not. It's probably a good decision. But I knew he'd want me to paint certain things, and if I couldn't do that and knew I couldn't do it, I wouldn't do a good job. I always painted what I wanted to paint and how I felt about it. And that's the only way that I could do art. So probably it was the best thing. But he was going to buy all my materials, say that I had to turn in so many paintings, and he would take the payment for the painting and take a commission and give me whatever he figured I was worth. Didn't sound like a bad deal. One of the most popular artists in Charleston during that time, he had done that for him, which established him with the community, and he made a good living. But I never liked his paintings. Okay, I'm just rambling. It's a Friday. I've been working on this thing, and I guess I just got it on my mind, so all these things came to mind from just that fact. Hope I didn't bore you. Take care of yourselves. Till the next time, God bless you.